Hayden Stevens. Okay, you'll be followed by Roger Ogden, followed by Rabbi Schifrin.
I'm here to speak about the Chicano Park, the special attention that the City Council has given to Chicano Park. As you can see from the little letter, from the photograph, that the murals at Chicano Park, they want to secede from the Union and start their own little country called Aztlan, using 8 different states. And under the Pledge of Allegiance, they say one nation, indivisible. And evidently that's what they're trying to do, divide it. Now, the last time we had states that tried to secede from the Union, start their own, the South called it the War of Succession, the North called it the Civil War. My great-grandfather fought in that battle, in that war, 4 long years. It's a bloody meat grinder of a war, and 600,000 Americans died in that war, and I don't want it to happen again. The City Council should do whatever it can to ensure that they are not going to try and secede from the Union, including taking down whatever murals encourage such a thing to start their own country. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Roger Ogden, followed by Rabbi Schifrin, followed by Dr. Newman.
I'm Roger Ogden. On September 3rd, I went to Chicano Park with 4 other people to see the murals there and to have lunch. And we wanted to discuss privately the anti-American and Chicano supremacist aspects of some of the murals. Somehow the news got out because someone had apparently by fraud got on my email list, and he forwarded it to certain websites. These websites and social media, we were defamed in order to whip up a mob against us, and we were met at the park with more than 500 angry people, and dozens of police were there to protect us from the mob, not to protect the mob from us, 5 people. We knew that the mob was going to be there because we were getting threats beforehand, and we were monitoring social media. That kind of thing has happened in the past when people went there that were critical of the park, so it's not the first time by a long shot. Chicanos say they own the park, that it's their sacred land, and they can do what they want with it. Chicano Park Steering Committee, the Brown Berets, and radical allies control it. The steering committee was complicit in organizing this mob to run us out of the park, and the Brown Berets are the enforcement arm. This cannot be a legal way for a city to run a park, and the city is responsible legally for what happens at that park. They've ceded control of the park to a radical group, and they must be seen as your proxies and your agents, and you're legally responsible for this. And the militant theme of the park attracts these people to that park. Chicano Park should be operated like any other park, not controlled by a radical group with extremist political agenda, and no one should be denied access to a city park because they have the wrong skin color, the wrong ethnic identity, or the wrong politics. Thank you.
Thank you. Rabbi Schifrin, followed by Dr. Newman, followed by Angelo Finocchiaro Jr.
I'm looking at you, council members. It's just another business day, ho-hum. If these were whites that were attacking and assaulting and intimidating Chicanos, I promise every one of you would be glued to me right now. As long as it's whites being attacked and intimidated, it's a business as usual attitude, as I can see on your faces right now. We're not going to tolerate that anymore. La Raza is a racist Nazi organization. Look it up on the YouTube, Google it. They have their roots in Nazi propaganda. Not just because I'm saying it, look at the murals of the swastikas at the park. Nazi swastikas. Never forget Kristallnacht. What the brown shirts did to the Jews in Germany. Nobody believed that riffraff, that scum, that low-level culture would ever get a foothold in Germany, and look at what just a few did. As far as I'm concerned, these brown berets are brown shirts. And this is a seditious movement. caused by people that want nothing other than to control whites and to get the Aztlán, which, by the way, is Reconquista. Búsquenla en sus diccionarios. Reconquista means you, me, everybody here in the southwest of United States is here illegally. As far as I'm concerned, anybody that holds by that Aztlán credo should be deported. No questions asked. As a Jew, as an American, as a citizen, I look at you right now with your hands held together, folding your hands and twiddling your fingers as part and parcel to this water, as water carriers.
Sir, your time is up.
Ustedes no van a pasar. Recordemos a ustedes.
Sir, your time is up. I'm not going to ask you again to please remove yourself.
Dr. Newman. Dr. Newman will be followed by Angelo Finocchiaro Jr., followed by Hud Collins.
Sir, before you start, in this chamber, we do this. If we support the speaker, do this. No clapping because we have to move our agenda. So thank you. Please continue, sir.
If you choose to clap while I am speaking, you may do that. That does not take up more council time. I'm Dr. Newman. Yo hablo español, pero el idioma de Estados Unidos es inglés. Entonces, yo hablo hoy en inglés. I am entitled. Why am I entitled? Because my wife and my children were born in San Diego. My son was the bicentennial baby of the city of San Diego, born in Grossmont Hospital. His first dirty diaper is buried in the time capsule in Presidio Park. I am entitled. I got all my education in San Diego, bachelor's degrees, a master's degree at San Diego State, and at the California School of Professional Psychology, where I got my doctorate in experimental psychology. I taught at Southwestern College. I taught at the Police and Fire Academy in San Diego. My sister is a lifetime police officer, having retired from the San Diego Police Force. Now, to allow this park to continue is a virus that must be eradicated, and that responsibility is yours. Stop it now before this contagious disease spreads. Please set an example for other communities. And please get off this slippery slope. In the time that I have remaining, an applaud may follow. You have 1 second. God bless.
Angelo Finocchiaro Jr., followed by Hud Collins, followed by Orville Glenn.
Hi, I'm Angelo Finocchiaro Jr. It just bores me to see the hate that is allowed by any group. And so you're allowing this in a park with these subliminal messages of hate. And all I can tell you is that when my family came from Italy, after returning after 7 years, we were taught to assimilate. Keep our culture, yes. We still speak Sicilian, Italian, but we assimilated, but not with hate. We grew to go to school to improve the environment, not try to project what better culture we came from and what we want to retake. This is really ridiculous. I just don't understand why you guys are allowing a park, a city place for enjoyment to project and subliminally just teach children more hate. I just don't understand why you're doing that. Please stop it.
Thank you. Christopher Wyrick. Mr. Wyrick, please come forward. You'll be followed by John Moore, followed by Vern C. Gammon.
Good morning, City Council members. My name is Christopher Wyrick, and me, along with 4 others, including my 17-year-old son and Roger Ogden, were the citizens that went to the park that day with the intentions of seeing the paintings that we had viewed on the internet showing anti-law enforcement, anti-American, and Chicano supremacy ideology depicted in certain murals. We want to see them for ourselves, with Roger being the tour guide. And originally there was a group of 7 going, including a woman and her young daughter, that, like us, wanted to see these things firsthand. Never once did we discuss tearing down a statue of Zapata or defacing the murals. Actually, I personally didn't even know there was a statue in the park until weeks later. Somehow during the organization process, the word got out that our group was going to the park, and immediately a Facebook page was put up in an effort to stop us from going there. We were threatened with violence from groups like La Raza, Brown Berets, Occupy SD, Antifa, Redneck Revolt, and many others. The young mother and daughter decided against going to the park because of these threats. The remainder of the group thought about not going and had a few conversations regarding the issue, but ultimately decided that we could not be threatened or intimidated, and standing up against this nonsense would be the best way to expose it. We went to try to open dialogue and was actually encouraged in hearing that people were set up by the murals to explain them. It really sounded hopeful, but that wasn't the case at all. I want to know why I wasn't allowed into the park, why I was labeled a white supremacist when I have absolutely no gang affiliation and no criminal record. Is it because I'm a white male? Is it because I believe in America first? Is it my political orientation? Could it be because I speak in favor of the police department when many other people badmouth it? Maybe it's because I believe that a federally funded park should have some oversight on what goes up on its walls. My tax dollars pay for it, so why shouldn't I have a say in what is painted, especially when some of these murals have racist and bigoted undertones? Why would anybody want to bring their child to a park that is ran by gangsters and has murals that depict law enforcement officers as enemies, anti-American murals that show this land is AT's land, and racist propaganda developed by a known Nazi sympathizer? They are teaching the youth in that neighborhood to hate the ones that protect them at night and despise the land they live on. What kind of future do you see for those children when the images that surround them depict Americans and law
Sir, your time is up.
Thank you. John Moore is the next speaker, followed by Vern C. Gammon, followed by Bob Kaczewski.
Thank you, Council, for this opportunity. My name is John Moore, resident of the city of San Diego. In January of 1917, during World War I, German Foreign Minister Zimmermann sent a telegram to his ambassador in Mexico City that said, "We make Mexico a proposal of alliance, make war together, make peace together, and an understanding on our part that Mexico is to reconquer the lost territory in Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona." Reconquer, Reconquista, was born in the 1917 offer to Mexico for war against the United States. In World War II, Germany again approached Mexico with the same proposal in the form of Jose Vasconcelos, a popular Mexican politician and paid Nazi agent. Vasconcelos created the concept and phrase La Raza, race in English, partially from Nazi racial theories used for extermination campaigns in Europe. Tens of thousands of Americans of Mexican and Latin descent rejected the second German offer and served honorably in all branches of the U.S. military in both the European and Pacific theaters, a tradition that continues to this day. In New Mexico in the 1960s, Reyes Tejerina resurrected Jose Vasconcelos' La Raza, combined it with Aztlan, the new name for a larger Reconquista of California, Arizona, New York, New Mexico, Texas, Nevada, Colorado, Utah, Oregon, Washington, and Idaho. Mr. Tierra's bronze La Raza brothers would take Aztlan through their numbers and by peace, example, justice, influence, and culture. He omitted any reference to Jose Vasconcelos' Nazi loyalty and racial theories. Chicano Park includes the Reconquista, La Raza, Aztlan, the spirit of Agent Vasconcelos, and adds Fidel Castro and Che Guevara murals. Councilman Alvarez, did your parents or grandparents come to this country to find Fidel Castro and Reyes Tejerina, or was it to find opportunity and liberty? Councilwoman Gomez, did your parents or grandparents come to this country to find Jose Vasconcelos or Che Guevara, or was it to find opportunity and liberty? If we lived in Aztlan today, would we have the opportunity for employment, good houses, cars, and schools,
Sir,
or would we be dirt poor?
Sir. Thank you, sir. Your time is up. Thank you.
Well, she had a similar problem to me a number of years ago, and she says a continuation of double standards when it comes to Chicano Park has got to stop. The racist murals, racist postings, racist rallies, and racist violence that takes place the minute a Caucasian or other ethnic person shows up that doesn't agree with the racist rhetoric. I have been in Chicano Park with one other female observing when well-known border illegal supporter Enrique Morones called us names and instructed the crowd to get us. They did as he said. They surrounded us, pushing, screaming, smacking cameras, accusing us of any and all racist acts they could pull out of the hat. Good thing San Diego PD showed up. Swastikas, communism worship, other countries' praise, racist rhetoric, and flags should not be protected and guarded by a group of Hispanic brown berets, Hispanic KKK gangs as if it's theirs. The city council has no business protecting such a violent place. A woman tried to start a business in the barrio recently and was ran out because she was white, and her video advertisement opened rubbing them the wrong way. This is what we've come to, that political correctness stops new growth. They said the area is becoming too white. Come on. Tell me who among you wouldn't be in front of TV cameras crying foul if any ethnic person weren't permitted in a park by a violent horde of Caucasians. If Caucasians had a park with swastikas posted telling other ethnic groups to stay out, if this video existed of the violent horde chasing everyone out, even trying to look at the murals, what could be the harm? Instead, they spread lies saying that we're going to damage the murals. If white gang members, KKK, openly hung out at a park, you'd be all over it with the San Diego PD there. A double standard and political correctness has to stop.
Thank you, sir. That concludes non-agenda public comment this morning.
Just add one thing.
No.
Sorry, ma'am, your time is up.
You're smirking and you're smirking.
Your time is up.